Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Adam Welch here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Joining me here today is Andy Terry with Ameritas, and he's going to take us through, give us a little bit of an introduction to a pretty unique term plan with some great living benefits in there. So Ameritas is a new addition to our lineup here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We're certainly excited to have them on board and have this very competitive term product to offer. So we're going to be taking a close look at the term with living benefits that Ameritas has to offer, and hopefully see this as well worth your time. So we do appreciate everyone taking some time out of your busy Monday mornings to join us on these webinars. Before I hand things over to Andy to take us through the product, just a couple of housekeeping items here I want to go over. First of all, throughout the course of the webinar, if there's any questions that may come up, please don't hesitate to type those into the question box on your control panel and send those over. We'll stop and check for questions here periodically and again at the end of the webinar. So please don't hesitate to ask questions and send those over through your control panel on your screen. Additionally, we are also going to have a couple of poll questions in our introductory slides here. So your participation in those poll questions certainly greatly appreciated. We can get some additional information out to you on a few topics if that is of interest to you. So just very simple, yes or no. Would you like additional information on the item that's being presented? And we can get that additional information out. So again, your attendance and participation in that poll questions is certainly greatly appreciated. With that, before I hand things over to Andy to take us through the bulk of today's presentation, just want to take a few minutes and make sure everyone is well aware of the great rewards, services, and incentives we have available for the independent agent here at IAMS. So with that, the first item I want to visit about is great business builder here, and that is our referred producer program. So just like you all out in the field, the most qualified lead you can receive out there is a referral. It's the highest compliment, the most qualified lead. I don't care how much you're paying for your pre-qualified lead appointment setting service. That the referral from an existing client or someone in your network is a tremendous compliment out there, and they're certainly going to be the warmest lead out there. Well, the same holds true for us here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. So with that, we want to encourage you to pass referrals along, pass names along to us. If there's someone that you know of that works in the business as well, that is not currently working with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, but you feel would benefit from doing so, we want to encourage you to make that introduction to us. So how this program works, it's a great way to get some additional cash in your pocket. Right off the bat, when you refer over an agent to IAMS and they contract with one or more of our companies, we're going to cut you a check right then for $50 just for making that introduction. Then once that referral starts writing business, that's where some real money can be earned, some additional cash in your pocket. So you can see in this example here, we will pay an override based on that referral's business. Let's say, for example, you refer over 3 producers 1 year, and all 3 of those producers are $1 million a year producers, let's call it in annuities and life insurance production. Then we're going to cut you a check for $6,000 based on that production from those referrals. And that is simply just for making that introduction and passing them along to us. So you can see, great way to get some additional cash in your pocket, earn some money. And again, we want to encourage you to make that introduction and pass those referrals along. So please keep our Refer Producer program in mind while you're out there and talking with folks. Again, great way to get a bit of extra cash in your pocket. We also have our new producer bonus program, which is really a great program rewarding those of you that are not necessarily new to the business, but new to us here at IAMS. So how this program works, based on the production that you write with us within your first 6 months of getting contracted with one or more of our carriers, that can qualify you for any one of these great rewards here that you see on the screen. So we have 3 levels to choose from based on the amount of business that you write in your first 6 months of being contracted. The first level is that $100,000 level, and some great options to choose from there. Of course, the cash is always the most popular. You can get you a $750 cash bonus when you write your first $100,000 in annuity, single premium life, and traditional life insurance. We do prorate the qualifications for traditional life insurance as well, but you hit that $100,000 qualification credit, and choose that $750 cash bonus, or have a website built for you and paid for 2 years by us here at IAMS, or the latest generation iPad. If you have more than 100,000, you can hit that $300,000 level. Those rewards, of course, go up. We have a couple of options to choose from here, including a Social Security program that comes along with a 3,000-piece mail drop to get some leads in the door, or that $750 cash bonus goes up to $1,500 gift card. Again, if you have more than $300,000 and you can write and qualify for that $500,000 level, the rewards get even better. So here we have some great business building rewards with a couple of seminar programs from two of our top producing advisors, Matt Gill and Dave Pemper. They have developed their own seminar system and used that to generate their business and build their business to the elite level that it is today. They will make that available to you, along with some great coaching. And then finally, a mail drop to help fill up those seminars and get some leads in the door there. So you can either choose that 5,000-piece mailing with Matt Gill, 4,000-piece mailing, and seminar coaching with Dave Pemper. Two different seminars, but very effective in their own right. The third option at that $500,000 level is a Ritz-Carlton travel package. So you can get out and reward yourself, take a vacation, and customize your own getaway with that Ritz-Carlton travel package. So that's our new producer bonus. Again, rewarding those of you that are new to us here at Insurance Agency Marketing. We really pride ourselves here at IAMS on the service we provide the independent agent. You all do not have an easy job out there as an independent agent. We know that. We recognize that. We want to help you work more efficient out there in the field. We want to help you be work smarter and not harder. So with that, some of the available services we have here at IAMS, we really want to help you on your cases from submission to commission, as we like to say. So our very talented marketing team on both the life and annuity side, we're here to help you with your case design assistance, product selection. Give us a call. Let us know what you're working on. We can help navigate the broad universe of product we have out there. Help put your client in some very competitive recommendations that's going to meet their needs. We can help you on the sales support side and case design part of the case, and then once that case is written, send it in to us. We have a great team of case managers that will process that new business, scrub the apps for you, make sure everything's going to be in good order when it hits the carrier, and keep pushing the carriers to keep moving the case along so we can get that case placed and paid and get you paid as quickly as possible. So full support from submission to commission. Also help you running your quotes and illustrations. We can provide access to some of the top sales expertise and coaching out there. A couple of the folks I had mentioned on the previous slide, Matt Gill and Dave Pemper, great outlets there for some coaching. And then we also have paperless contracting, so making your life a bit easier in the contracting world. If there's new carriers you need to add to your portfolio, as long as they are on paperless contracting and we have your paperless contracting on file here, you don't need to fill out any additional paperwork. So again, our whole goal here is to help the independent agent work smarter, not harder, be more efficient out there in the field, because again, we understand how difficult your job is. We want to help shoulder some of that back office task for you here at IAMS. We have a very talented team in our creative marketing department here. So not only can we help you on the product side and sales side, but also on the marketing and getting your name and your message out there. So we have a number of different options to choose from. Josh, Tasia, and their team be more than happy to visit with you about some options that we have available and what we can do for you. But we have turnkey solutions that are materials that are professionally written, ready to go. We just need to customize it with your information, your agency information, and these are great brochures and flyers and handouts that you can keep in your office or hand out on your appointments. We also have full agency solutions where we can help you with branding and brand building. So we can help you create a logo, get that logo and that branding on business cards, brochures, your letterhead, and different advertising materials. Then finally, we can also assist you on the digital side of things here as well. So all of your social media marketing, website creation and design, again, that social media consulting, generating some online newsletters and email marketing. So we can help you on the digital side as well. So really a full service creative marketing department here. And I promise you we will be very competitive in terms of pricing with your local advertising or PR firm out there. We are not in this business to make money. We are in this business to help you get your message out there so you can increase your production. So we are very competitively priced and have a lot of options to choose from. So if you're in need of some of these services, please keep that in mind and give Josh or Tasha a call. They'd be glad to visit with you a bit further. Our website, www.imsinc.com, tremendous resource. If you've not yet gone out there to register for a login to get access to all the information we have on the back end of our website, I really encourage you to go out there and visit imsinc.com and register for that website. Get a login. We have our term quoting engine available out there, access to some great sales tools, and access to all of our current life annuity product grids as well. So again, that's imsinc.com. Of course, it's online. It's always available 24/7. If it's after hours and you need a quick term quote, whatever the case may be, that will be available out there on the website. So great resource. Highly encourage you to register for that website if you have not yet. All right, our retirement analyzer software. We do have access to this really powerful program here. It's a great program that really kind of takes you from being more of a transactional to a needs-based selling advisor, where you can really illustrate to your clients the power of working with you and the power of implementing your recommendations, show the impact of their retirement funds, the impact of an untimely death, and recommending a life insurance solution. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here, but Marcus Solar in our office is a tremendous resource. If you're contracted with us and producing, we do have the ability to make this available to you very competitively. So keep that in mind. It's a full planning software that takes into account a number of different items to answer those questions that you see listed on the bottom of the screen there. And again, just really kind of illustrates the power of working with you and implementing your recommendations to your clients. So it is a very powerful program that we have available to contracted agents with us here at IAMS. All right, IAMS Wealth Management. This is going to bring us to the first poll of the day here. While I get this ready, just take a quick look at the screen. But those of you new to us may not be aware, but we do have the ability to assist you not only on the life insurance and annuity side, but also in the wealth management side and fee-based asset management with IAMS Wealth Management. So we have launched our own registered investment advisor, RIA, here in IAMS Wealth Management. We have designed this to be as advisor and insurance friendly as possible. So there are a number of reasons to consider adding fee-based asset management to your business. If you're already in that business and looking for possibly a new home, or possibly looking at adding this to your business, it's a great opportunity to become more of a holistic advisor for your clients. So it's going to result in increased revenue for you. Again, instead of earning commissions on sales, you're going to earn recurring revenue based on the fees that you're generating from those assets under management. Adding this other line of service to your offering for your clients is likely going to increase and result in an increase in fixed index sales as well on both the life and annuity side. It's going to help you improve your client retention. Again, being more of a holistic advisor, you're going to be able to offer a full range of products and services, not only assist them in the risk management side with their insurance and fixed income needs, but also be able to help accumulate wealth and manage that wealth as well. Improving client retention goes a long way in strengthening client relationships. Again, the whole idea here is becoming more holistic, offering a full range of services. So again, we have developed this RIA to be as an advisor and insurance friendly as possible. We have structured it so you can be more efficient working out there in the field. You're not going to be bogged down with the day-to-day asset management, making trades. with our strategic relationships here, we can be your full operational arm to handle all of that on the back end. So you can just focus on the things that matter most to you, and that's meeting with clients, meeting with prospects, gathering assets, and making sales. We want to handle all the back end items for you in terms of the actual management and compliance needs. So Charles, our hiring, and Mike Hansen and Joan and their team do a phenomenal job. If that would be of interest, I encourage you to click yes on that poll question that should be up on your screen right now. We can get some additional information out to you, and Mike Hansen would be ecstatic to visit with you further about what we have available and how we can help you get into this market if you're not already. So that's IAMS Wealth Management. That is our RIA here at IAMS. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close that out and keep us moving here. And this is going to bring us to our second poll of the day. And this is our very popular All Expense Paid Life and Annuity Academy. This is an industry recognized training event that's not your typical product roadshow. We're going to bring you out for a couple of days at no cost to you. And we take care of your flight, travel expenses, meals, lodging. All of it is taken care of by us here at IAMS. The only thing it costs you is a couple of days out of the field. We know that's expensive in and of itself, so we want to load you up with as much information as possible to make it worth your time and that you're not spending out there in the field. So again, it's not your typical product roadshow where we're going to go out and go over product A versus product B and why that product is better. This is more of a sales and marketing type of meeting where we're going to bring out several of our top producing advisors and some other speakers to go over different marketing ideas, sales approaches, and concepts that they use and continue to use to keep their business at that elite level. Make some of those items available to you to take back to the office, implement, and see a nice increase in your overall levels of production in the life and annuity markets. So some of the items we'll talk about, we'll go over some, again, different sales ideas and marketing strategies, go over current industry trends, go over some of our seminar systems we have available. Had mentioned Matt Gill and Dave Pemper. They'll be out there visiting about their seminar system and how they use seminar marketing. Talk about some large life case marketing, get you in front of some higher premium life cases, not only in the personal estate planning side, but also getting into the business insurance market and working with some of those more advanced business concepts like key person, executive bonus, buy-sell arrangements, some of those items. Also go over wealth transfer tools, including single premium life. Talk about IAMS Wealth Management. Go over some different software tools we have available, including the Retirement Analyzer. So a lot of information crammed into the 2 days, but our hope is that you'll take one or two of those items back to the office with you, implement, and see a great increase in your overall levels of production. So if that's of interest, again, encourage you to click yes on that poll question. We'll get some additional information out to you. We do have our first meeting scheduled of the year coming up here in a couple months. So we're going to be ramping that up and getting folks out there and ready to go. So keep that in mind. Again, all expense paid, just costs you a couple of days out of your time. So with that, I'm running a little bit behind here, so I'm going to close that out and keep us moving. The last item I want to talk about before I hand things over to Andy here is our 2018 Marketing Summit. And actually, be a great opportunity, be a great opportunity to join us for a couple of days out in Scottsdale, Arizona, the gorgeous Boulders Resort and Spa. Qualification is actually wrapping up, so we will be working on the details for our next Marketing Summit meeting. But these are great meetings to bring out all of our top producing agents to reward them for a good year's work and get some rest, relaxation, and some great education out there as well. So we do hold our annual marketing summits. Let us know what you're working on, what we can help you get in the door here to get you qualified and get you out on one of those trips. This year, we are heading out to, again, the Boulders Resort and Spa in Scottsdale. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up my portion and get things over to Andy to talk about Ameritas New Term product that we have available here at IAMS. So with that, Andy, it should be headed your way.
Yes, just a second. Show my screen. All right. Thank you so much. That some really good information there. That's, I'm involved with a lot of these presentations with different groups, and that's one of the best value-added packages I've ever heard of. So That just seems like a tremendous amount of different things you guys could take advantage of and really build your business. So I was very impressed by that. But what I'm here today, I'm Andy Terry from Ameritas, and I'm new on your platform. I'm excited about this opportunity that we have in front of you. Let me just make sure I'm on the right screen here. I'm hoping you can see my PowerPoint there.
Yep, I think we're good.
Perfect. All right. So Andy Terry with Ameritas, and we are relatively new within the independent space. You've probably heard the Ameritas name before, maybe through either the dental plan, or we do have a pretty big career agency side. So there are some Ameritas career agents out there, and that's where most of our business has been over the last, really the history of Ameritas. So we carved out an independent IMO type distribution over the last couple of years, and we're really looking to partner with only a select group of agencies out there. We're not really looking to go out there and get agreements with every single IMO out there. We want to make it an exclusive agreement, and we want to really focus on quality over quantity when it comes to our distribution. So when we choose our partners, we choose carefully. So we're excited to be partnered with Ames. And the first product that we're going to have available for you guys is going to be the new FLX Living Benefit Term product. And then we will have a new, what we call FLX Living Benefit IUL coming in March. So, and I'll touch on that here at the end of the presentation. So as far as Ameritas, if you haven't heard of Ameritas, we are based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. We have 3.8 million in customers. We're about 26 billion in assets under management, and we paid out in 2.6 in claims over the. Let me move my presentation a little bit over just a second. All right, sorry, I was covering up some things with the box. Okay, I'll keep rolling here. Sorry about that. 2.6 billion paid in claims in 2016. So really what that says is, when it actually matters, these policies that you go out and deliver to your clients, well, we deliver on those promises when it really matters for those beneficiaries. So that's important. That's an important number for us, is that claims number, that we pay out a lot of claims. That just goes to show we have a lot of customers as well. As far as our ratings, we're an A-rated company with AM Best, A+ with Standard & Poor's, so very strong across the board. So this first product that we have available to you, it's very exciting. It's unique, especially if you're selling a lot of term out there with your clients. This is something you really want to take a closer look at. This is what I would call the new term out there in the market. So the name of the product, FLX Living Benefit Term. What we're going to have here that's competitive, and what makes it unique, is that we have 18 living benefit triggers. We can accelerate as much as 90% of the death benefit, up to $1.5 million. We include everyone through a table D with a $5 flat extra. There's no knockout questions for these living benefits. Everybody gets them. We have a non-medical product up to $300,000 or less, and also covers on this non-med all the way up to age 60 or less. So a lot of the competitors in this really term and living benefit space, a lot of those non-meds phase out right around $200,000 to $250,000. So we're going to go all the way up to $300,000. We'll cover more of that middle market that you have, that you guys are working towards, and so we'll encompass more of those clients. As far as the product details, we have a 10, 15, 20, 25, and the 30-year option on the term periods. Our minimum face amount is going to be $50,000. It will be $100,000 if it's age 61 plus. The max face amount, there is no max. Our issue ages are going to range. It really just depends on what term period you choose. But if you look, you can go all the way up to age 80 on the 10-year option. And then if you choose the 20-year, you can go all the way through age 70. The nice thing about this product is that we'll be able to convert to this new IUL that we're going to have available at the beginning of March. So, it's a good opportunity to get your clients into this product now, into this new nice term with living benefits, and then have the ability to convert that over to our IUL as soon as it's available. We're going to have 4 premium bands, 2 on that non-medical. So we'll go all the way up to $300,000 on that non-medical, and you can also get all the way up to preferred non-tobacco on that non-medical as well. So that's pretty exciting. On the fully underwritten, that's when we're gonna as soon as you go $1 over that 300,000, then you can get into that preferred plus non-tobacco. So if you're really trying to maximize the best premium possible, the best underwriting possible, I see a lot of cases come in at $300,000 and $1. But if you just want to, if you're just looking for a quick issue and maybe you think they're going to be right around the standard, then you go ahead and go with that non-medical, in those non-medical bands there. So it really just depends on the client, right? This is nice, is that we have commissionable policy fees. So it really just depends. A lot of competitors out there don't pay commissions on those policy fees. So this is a nice additional feature that we're going to offer there. So, the $50 fee will be commissionable on every policy. We have some discounts that are unique to this term product. You're not going to find these type of discounts anywhere else out there in the market. One that's very common that we see a lot of is the same payer discount. This is if you sell more than one term policy, so husband, wife, 2 business owners, 2 policies on one person, or on the children, multiple term policies. As long as it's coming out of the same EFT, the same checking account, we'll cut the policy fees in half on each policy. So that's $50 on each policy. So that adds up to significant savings when it comes to, especially on these term type policies. When you stack up the top term providers out there, usually you're within dollars of each other, 1 through 20 of the top 20 providers. So when you can cut those policy fees in half, you're going to be easily the top provider there with the lowest premium. So some additional discounts, we have an approved association discount. That's a 4% reduced policy fee. All you need to do there is, if they are part of an association, just call us or email us, ask them if that's on our list, and we'll let you know. And then also the producer employee discount. This is for you, the writing agent in your immediate family. So if you write a term on yourself, you'll get that 4% premium discount. If you write one on you and your spouse, you'll get that 4% premium discount and that same payer discount. So you'll get your policy fees cut in half and a 4% premium discount. You really can't beat that when it comes to this type of policy. As far as our living benefits, the definitions of that, so in order to be able to accelerate that death benefit, you got to meet these qualifying conditions. So let's take a look at the first one. On the terminal illness, it's pretty simple, straightforward, life expectancy of 12 months or less. That's the easiest one. Qualifying conditions on the chronic illness. So if they can now perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, then they would be able to accelerate. Now, on the critical illness, this is where I think we have some additional competitive features in here. When you look at our extensive list of qualifying conditions, a lot of the competitors out there only have, the ones on the left. So all the ones we listed on the left, those are pretty common. You'll find those almost with every carrier that offers these living benefits: life-threatening cancer, stroke, your heart attack. But the ones on the right are unique to Ameritas, where we added a more comprehensive list. So, you got your major burns, your coma, your aneurysm, your heart valve replacement, your artery bypass. So if you think about, think about yourself, your family members, your friends' families. Think about all the people have probably had one of these type of conditions in their life. That would be a qualifying condition that they would be able to accelerate the death benefit and really help with that financial stress that they are going to encounter with having one of these conditions. So I think this list is really going to hit home when you talk about this type of term product versus your normal term without living benefits. So as far as how these things are paid out, it's either a lump sum with the critical or terminal illness, or it's a lump sum or an installment with a chronic illness. It really just depends on when that chronic illness takes place. There's an IRS HIPAA limit on how much you can accelerate in 1 year. So if it's over the limit, then they want you to take it out in distribution and distribution payments, and then the following year you can take out the remainder lump sum. Again, it just depends. If it happens early in the year, then you can take it out in the lump sum. If it happens later in the year, more than likely you'll have to take it in installment payments until the following year, and then you take the remainder of the lump sum. I can always go over an example of that, at another time if you want me to. It's really not that hard. I have a pretty easy example I can always send your way if you'd like. As far as these living benefit payments, you can accelerate less than what's available. So let's say the client has access to $250,000 of acceleration, but they only need $50,000. Well, then they can take out really up to $250,000, but if they only want 50, then they take 50. You have up to 5 accelerations. That's the max that the client would be allowed to take over that lifespan. If they take the maximum amount of acceleration, then 10% of the death benefit will remain. So the premiums will be reduced proportionately. I'll show you an example of that here in a second. Again, the max living benefits for all policies is $1.5 million. So this is what our illustrations look like. We really put some thought into the way we wanted to design these illustrations. We were thinking of that agent sitting in front of the client. We want to make it very user-friendly so they can put this in front of their client, really assist them with that sell, make sure their clients understand the product completely and they're comfortable with it, and they are, they have this illustration to refer back to if they ever have questions. But we really want to make it easy for you, the agent, to sit down with your client and sell it. So on our illustrations, you're going to have all the qualifying conditions that client is going to have. So you can go over all these conditions. Again, I think a lot of this will hit home to the clients. When you look at the list, they're going to see a lot of things on here that, their own family members have encountered. And then the other thing we're going to have on this is a case study on our illustrations. So here's the example. What we have, on this webinar here is it was originally a 35-year-old client with a $500,000 death benefit. It's a 30-year term product. So $500,000, 35-year-old. 5 years later, after purchasing the product, he was diagnosed with a stage 3 prostate cancer. He was off work for several months, so he wasn't bringing in any type of income. He had a lot of medical bills, a lot of things that his insurance didn't cover. So without the ability to accelerate, he would have really had a tough time to pay the mortgage, his daily living expenses like the groceries, fuel in the car, additional medical bills, whatever that might be. He really would have had a financial hardship without the ability to accelerate his death benefit. So he had a $500,000 policy. The max so it's always based on the severity of the condition. So if we look at this at a 40-year-olds across the board that have stage 3 prostate cancer, the likelihood that they're going to live is pretty good. So we look at that and say the severity of that type of condition, we will allow them to take out the acceleration based on the severity of that. So the max that he would be able to take that out would be $157,267. So he exercised that full acceleration amount, and he was able to pay those mortgage bills, those medical bills, all the living expenses that he needed. He was really able to get rehab, to get back on his feet, get back to work in a few months, and get right back at it. So the total premiums he paid into that policy was only $3,067. But he was able to accelerate $157,267. That's a really good rate of return. 3,000 on 157,000 of cash in hand. That's a pretty good benefit. Since he maxed out his acceleration, his death benefit will be reduced down to that 10% of his original amount. So now he has a $50,000 death benefit, and his premiums will be reduced as well. So now he's only paying $9 in premium for that $50,000 death benefit. So he still has, a policy in place that his beneficiaries will receive $50,000, down the road. So the way I kind of look at these things, why living benefits? Why would you sell this type of term product versus the cheap term, like a very low premium term only, banner, something that's very just it's death benefit only. So, why would you want to sell this type of term? Well, consider this, more than 60% of all bankruptcies are directly tied to medical conditions such as critical illness. Most of these individuals were already covered by traditional health insurance, in the neighborhood of around 80%. So, the Cancer Association claim majority of expenses are non-medical, that health insurance does not cover. Percentage, nearly 70% is non-medical. So think about that. All the people out there being diagnosed with cancer, the expenses that they have to pay is almost 90% is non-medical. As of 2012, about half of adults, 117 million people, had one or more chronic health conditions. 1 in 4 adults had 2 or more chronic health conditions. 7 of the top 10 causes of death in 2015 were chronic diseases. 2 of these chronic diseases was heart disease and cancer. Together accounted for nearly 46% of all deaths. So, the nice thing is technology is helping us survive more with these type of conditions. That's the good news. And the bad news is that more and more people are being diagnosed with these type of conditions. So, think of some of the things that you can, ask your clients to kind of get that conversation started. Do you know anyone that has survived these type of critical conditions? What would happen to your financials? What would be the financial stress if you were to happen to get a critical or chronic or terminal illness? The survival rates have increased. So that means that people are going to be living longer with these type of conditions. Do you have the financial backing to help you pay for these type of help with your nurses and medical and all that? Maybe it's remodeling the house to help you help with the wheelchairs or whatever it could be. So if you think about old term versus new term, LIMRA says there's about a 2% chance that term policies are going to be paid out. The death benefit is ever paid out. So that's a pretty small percentage, right? So there's less than 2% that a term policy be paid out. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with those type of term policies. I think everybody needs to have coverage, right? If you can't afford anything else, by all means, go with what you can afford, right? That's the best kind of life insurance is the one that you can afford. Make sure you're covered. Your family's covered for your mortgage expenses and all that. But the studies say that there's only a 2% chance that they're ever paid out. And also, conversion options are very limited with some of these term policies. Typically, you can only go into, a lesser competitive product, one that they designed only for that type of conversion. And usually, it's not the one that you would choose for your client if you really could go into any of them. So, what are the true chances of having a critical, chronic, or terminal illness? Well, it's right around, for a 65-year-old client, it's right around 40% that a 65-year-old is going to have some type of critical, chronic, or terminal illness. So the way I kind of look at it is an analogy. If you think about it from an analogy standpoint, if you were to go to a casino and if you put money in a slot machine, would you rather pay $1 for a 2% chance payout? Or would you rather pay $1.30, put an extra 30% into the slot machine, so you put $1.30 in there for a 40% chance payout? I would rather put more money in with a higher chance of payout. And that's really what this type of product is, this term product is, that you're going to really be giving your clients an overall better protection. bigger holistic overall picture. When you look at protecting your clients all the way across the board, well, not only do you need to protect them from a death benefit standpoint, but you need to protect them for a chronic, critical, and terminal illness standpoint as well. So that is the term, the FLX term with living benefit products. Let me just touch for a minute on what our IUL is going to have in store for you guys here in a couple months. So some of the competitive features that we're going to have on that IUL is we're going to have a simplified issue up to $300,000. We're going to have the accelerated death benefit. So just like we had on the term product, we'll have living benefits, where that term product, we use the actuarial discount approach, which that's what almost every carrier out there uses for their living benefit. On our IUL, we're going to use what we call a lean approach, very unique, where if the client needs to accelerate a death benefit and they have up to $250,000 to accelerate, we'll simply give them as much as they want. So if they want the full $250,000, we give them that. We don't go back and re-underwrite it and say, well, based off that condition, we think you're going to live for another 30 years. We don't do that. We just simply say, all right, here's $250,000, and then we charge a lien on it, just like if you're to withdraw your cash value using a loan, very similar to that approach. So that living benefit is guaranteed. We're going to have 15 critical illness triggers, just like we have on that term products. And we're going to have a unique underlying index on our IUL. It's called the BNP Momentum 5. This is a really nice underlying index. It's never had, if you look at over the last 15 years, it's actually only had one negative year over the last 15 years, and that was in 2015. So if you look at 2008 and 2009, when the market was down 30-40%, this thing was actually up slightly. So this is a really awesome strategy because you're constantly getting positive returns. You're never hitting zeros on your index, so you're always hitting something. I kind of think of this as like that consistent baseball player that's always hitting singles and doubles. So you're just constantly growing at all times. So I'll dive into a little bit more on this strategy as we get closer to launch, but I just want to give you kind of the highlights here. We're also going to have a persistency interest bonus. So this is a guaranteed bonus at 50 basis points on the cash accumulation on the 11th year and on. We'll have a guaranteed 50 basis points bonus, where a lot of carriers, they have bonuses, but it really depends on the underlying performance of that index. We take that away. We guarantee a 50 basis point boost to your cash accumulation. Also have a lifetime income rider. I know you guys are probably familiar with these lifetime income riders on your index annuities. It's going to be very similar to that. So if you use that cash accumulation within IULs and you kind of use that tax-free retirement story, this is going to play right into that tax-free retirement story. This lifetime income rider is going to really simplify that story for you, because all they need to do is just turn on this income rider, and they'll take that cash accumulation and make sure that they will never outlive that accumulated cash value. So that's just a few bullet points on that. I don't want to get too deep yet on that. Again, we'll be launching here in a couple months. As far as if you need quotes, you can always give us a call or call Ames. But we're more than happy to help you guys and assist you with your life insurance needs. So with that, I'll turn things back over to Ames. If there's any questions, I'll be more happy to answer them.
Great. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate you taking us through that. So definitely seeing more interest in the living benefits, and having a very competitive term product with living benefits definitely is going to be a hot button topic out there. So with that, we do have a couple of questions here that came through. So this first one is actually going back to the non-med option. We saw in there rapid standard, and I guess if you wouldn't mind just clarifying, does that mean with that non-med underwriting up to 300,000. If somebody falls in the first 4 tables through Table D, they're going to be rated up to standard.
Yeah, exactly. And the rapid standard is every company kind of has different terminologies for everything that's below standard. So that's what really rapid standard is for us. It's kind of everything that's slightly below standard. We're just looking for a good marketing name for it. We didn't want to be below standard or anything that had a negative connotation to it. So we're just going to call it rapid standard. So it's really anything that's below standard. Sometimes we can just lump them in to what we call our rapid standard.
Okay, great. All right, the next one here. So if the living benefit rider is exercised and they accelerate the death benefit, that remaining death benefit, does that ensure that there's a no lapse guarantee on that policy, that it will not lapse?
Yeah, exactly. We're always going to guarantee that there's at least 10% of what their original death benefit was. So that's when, if we get down to it, in the example I had here was a $500,000 policy, it went down to $50,000. They can no longer take an acceleration at that point because that's the lowest it can ever go. We always want to maintain at least a 10% death benefit. So the beneficiaries will always have something in place. Where that is unique, that's a good question, because other carriers, you can accelerate, take a full acceleration, and the death benefit can actually go down to almost zero, and then the beneficiaries have nothing left. So yes, we will always maintain at least a 10% of what the original face amount was.
Great. Let's see here. Looks like one of the last ones here, asking about state availability. Are you available everywhere, including New York, or is this a bit limited?
We are available everywhere except for we're not going to be excuse me. We won't be in New York, and we're not planning on going to New York for any time soon. And we're not in California yet, but we're working on getting the approvals there in California. As you guys probably know, it's a little difficult, so we're working our way through the progress there in California. I think it's out of our control, but we're hoping sometime this year we'll get approved in California.
Great. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and take things back here, Andy. I think that wraps up all the questions. I'm going to pop our phone number up here for those of you that may have some questions following this webinar that may come up after the fact. I will be following up with everybody individually here. Again, my name's Adam Welch with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Any other questions or any cases you'd like quotes on, our phone number here at IAMS is 800-255-5055. Please don't hesitate to give us a call. Be glad to help you out and answer any questions you may have. And again, with that, I will also be following up with everyone individually. So thank you again, everyone, for taking some time out of your Monday morning to join us here today. Looks to be an exciting new product, and we're certainly excited to have Ameritas on board. So, Andy, thank you as well for your time. We know
Sure.
We know your time's very valuable as well, and we appreciate you spending it with us to walk us through. So with that, we'll be in touch with everyone. Wish you all a great rest of your Monday, and have a great week. Take care.
Thanks, Adam.